Hi guys, you are back with Lady Victoria Walker, and I am here with my lovely business partner
Swala.
and we are the founders of Square Mile Investment Club, shortened down to SMIC.
And we're the millionaire matchmakers for
Raising capital.
Yeah.
So, a lot of you guys who follow me or have been on this page, which is the one I reactivated recently because I wanted to share some pretty cool stuff with you guys in terms of what we're doing and what we're doing for entrepreneurs globally in helping them really understand how to navigate the waters when it comes to raising venture capital. And today's topic is going to be key signs knowing that your business is actually ready for venture capital.
And I think that's quite important because most people, they think that they are ready, but they get a rude awakening when they go to investors and nobody wants to invest, or they get all this terrible feedback and they haven't actually done their research properly as to see if they actually are ready.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're here to tell you.
Exactly.
Why.
So our experience. So I think we should tell people like how we actually created SMIC. I mean, I was already and have been for the last sort of 6 years involved in working with private banks and wealth management firms and bringing capital or bringing projects.
Sorry. Do the writing.
Yeah. So always bringing capital for projects. I've done fundraising for projects in Africa, which was why I was out there for so long. I've done fundraising projects for various different things. So over the years, you build up the experience. But I never really thought about creating like a group where we could help people access the investors. And one of my one of my limitations is that I'm not an entrepreneur who's creative.
Video.
There we go. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
A little bit of a pause.
Yeah, and welcome to the guys who have come on. Drop a comment because we can't see who you are. There's a few of you there. But what I was saying is my journey as an entrepreneur, I am not an innovator. I am not somebody who can think of a new concept, a creative concept, and go and raise money. And that's just not my skill. My skill is working with people and deal making and coaching and consulting. So
that's part of networking and business development as well, I would say. So yeah, that's part of my skill as well. So yeah.
So one thing we've learned about being an entrepreneur is, you need to kind of build a good team around you or connect with a good team and know your strengths and really just stay in your lane when it comes to, doing what you're good at and making money from it.
Yeah, because people invest in people, not necessarily the ideas. Because everybody has great ideas. Everybody, there's millions of great ideas out there. But people really invest in a team. If your team is strong, if you're purporting to be an expert or you're doing something in technology, have some people that are real experts in technology. You could try and find strategic partners, maybe someone who's worked in Google before or Amazon, or something, a big person in AI, or was working with Singularity or something like that. Having someone like that on your team will bring a wealth of not only knowledge but credibility as well. So it's people invest in the team, so there's no point sending a deck that doesn't have your team on it because people are going to ask, well, who is the team? So you might as well send it beforehand. But that again that's one of the services that we provide, is giving you this kind of advice and knowledge and saying, well, this is where you're weak and this is where you could strengthen your deck, or for ready for investors.
So Swala, I want to know, from you, in your opinion, what are the signs that business is ready for investment? Because, so many people message me, I want to find an investor, want to raise capital for this business, and, a lot of them, based on what I know, are not ready. So for you, what are the key signs that a business is ready?
Well, I would say there's two types of business. You have a startup, and then you have maybe an existing business that needs to raise capital to expand. So it depends on exactly where you are in that business. If you're a startup, then you have to make sure all your ducks are aligned. You have to do a lot more work beforehand to get those to be investor ready, you've got to have your business plan, you've got to have all your financial forecasts, you've got to have all your team there, your executive summary has to be on point, you've got to know your industry in and out. It's a lot harder to than someone's got an existing business and they just want to scale up, because normally that existing business probably could go to a bank and say, look, I need to expand and get a bank loan or finance it some other way. If they want to go to an investor, they would already have accounts, they would already have existing business revenue streams and all of that ready. So for the second one, it's a lot easier. They'll know that they're investor ready when, first of all, they want to expand and it feels like, well, we're stretched here and we need to build a team, or we need more equipment, or we need to update our equipment, we need more money to do that. That means, okay, we can't do this on our own, we need to get an investor. Then they go through the steps. For a startup, I have an idea, I want to execute it, I don't have any money, I need an investor. So those are the two scenarios. I don't know, maybe there's other scenarios as well that you can think of?
Yeah, well, from what I've seen is like the investors, the ones that obviously we can tap into, they are looking for like businesses in markets that are, one, are not saturated, and secondly, have a large market capital. So they're looking at, industry sectors like, for example, military, or they're looking for sectors like technology, or they're looking at sectors like renewable energy. They're not looking for, not all investors, every investor has its own kind of, focus. But where we see a lot of the market going, or where I see a lot of the market going, is in sort of big business. And if anybody's read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, you'll understand the quadrants.
Yeah, that's like everybody's.
Sort of,
exactly. If you haven't read that book, you need to read it.
If you want to be in business, or even just in general, just understanding the basics of money. And Robert Kiyosaki really talks about sort of the right hand side of the quadrant, which is sort of enterprise. Let's just take this off. Enterprise level and big business level, entrepreneurial level and investor level, and so they're all looking for innovation, ideas, scalable businesses that have a massive user audience, which is why technology is like one of the biggest sectors you'll find investors are interested in. So if you've got a tech-based idea, if you've got an innovation that can solve some of the world's problems, then that's when they're interested. But I sometimes find, a lot of people don't really understand what is a venture or business that is going to be investor ready or investor focused. So I think it's really important that people who have businesses, small businesses, can scale up. You could have a food business and you produce the best, you've got a restaurant, you produce the best, lobster. Now, an investor will look at something like that if you were planning to like franchise it, or if you're planning to like
say that a franchise, that's the a perfect model for a franchise, rather than, you might say, oh well, I need an investor, I want to take my business to the next level, which is make another branch. Then you just start rinse and repeat. You've already done it once.
Hi, Nyla, by the way.
Sell that idea to franchise. I did it with my business. I was in the hair and beauty business, importing and exporting like beauty products from Ukraine, Brazil, India, wherever. And I was one of the first people to do that online. Like 2006, I had a company called Mega Hair Brazil. So I franchised that in South Africa, to the US and to Nigeria, by basically using my business model and selling that to other people. And actually I was still their supplier, so I still retained my my line of supply. So they still would have to come to me for the supply, but I'd franchised out that model. So they had, and it's a way of scaling your business without you having to put your money in. Actually, people are paying you.
Yeah.
So it's a great model for anything that's a kind of a small, medium-sized enterprise that you want to franchise out. It's a brilliant and easy way to actually get the funding to do that.
Exactly. So other key ways you can know that your business is investment ready is, or ready for venture capital, is that you have a really brilliant team. Teams are everything. And, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs that start out tend to either start out as a solo entrepreneur, or you might build into, you know, a small team. But when you see that your business is growing, you know, past 10, 15, you know, and you have a really, really strong team, you have mastered your processes, you have a healthy client base in terms of, you know, you've got customers coming back, you're known in the marketplace, and you have trading experience. Not to say that startups don't get money, but most venture capital and private equity firms are looking for businesses that already have track record. I mean, Warren Buffett's one of the biggest investors in the world. And, you know, he looks at specific businesses. So they have to be trading for like minimum 10 years. They have to have a turnover of at least 20 million a year. And, you know, he looks for specific businesses to invest in. Hi, Denise. Hi, Gary. Nice to see you guys. So he looks at specific businesses with a certain track record to actually buy equity. And I just want to break down the 2 points when it comes to funding your business. You've got debt and you have equity. For smaller businesses that are, you know, just starting, you need to go for the debt. You need to, because you're not going to really sell much equity without much track record, without much revenues in your business. You are going to need to look at loans and business loans. And loans can come from banks, they can come from friends and family, they can come from peer-to-peer loans. Some loan providers are looking just at your profit in your business. And I've had a few cases where the business is just starting, but because the underwriter saw the potential of the business, they were more willing to give them money, even more than the banks. So there's banks, there's alternative lenders. So again, there's a lot of private equity funds that go in specific pots just for lending to small businesses. So as an entrepreneur, if you're looking at growing, if you think, okay, I need cash, I need to buy equipment, I need to grow this business, then before equity, you look at debt. And if you manage that debt well enough, you hire the right people, you get your business processes correct, you've got a really great marketing strategy, really great sales system, then, you know, you're in a position to now then look at, okay, my business has some equity and I want to sell it to either grow the business or sell it completely to exit.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So those are the two ways, well, three ways.
We didn't even say three. We just said the key signs. But yeah,
key signs.
Many.
We touched on franchising, we touched on debt and equity, and we touched on three ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But there are other ways as well. So
and there's other signs, but the main message is that if you want to start a business, you will need to go through business loans at first, at least to get a bit of traction, or friends and family, your own funds. That's usually how people start. And then once you've got a minimum viable product, something that, you know, okay, this is a business, it's making money, it's not a hobby, it's making money. We've got customers, we've got sales, we've got a market space where we're innovative, we know we can do this, we've got a great team. Then you can look at potentially equity. But I say it takes at least 2 years for a business to really know that it is a business and that it's going to stand the test of time. So it's really important to give yourself some time before going out and looking for equity investors and venture capital.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, there are some unique circumstances as well where, to tell a little story, I was in a business last year which we managed to get an investor to put in $1 million, with a $500,000 deposit. Straight off the back, we didn't even have a business yet. So that was kind of like a unique situation where the client we were working for wanted to have a way. He wanted to invest in someone else's business, put it that way. He wanted to invest in someone else's business, but we advised them, look, instead of you putting your money into this platform, why not actually build your own and we will do it for you? So that was using other people's money to build our own, our own business mirroring another business, and we got the investment for that. So, you know, we were able to charge quite, you know, a lot of money, outsource that, and then we had our own business that we were running for the client. The client was actually maybe had 50%, was a 50% shareholder in the business, and we had the other 50% was shared between myself and my other partners that were in the business. So there are innovative ways of actually creating businesses without using your own money. So, but that story is probably going to be for one of our courses, because that is like really unique, and I've never really seen anybody else do that. So so we have some good tips for you.
Yes, SMIC tips, SMIC tips and strategies. And it's, we only know what we know, and the biggest advantage that we have is that we just have a brilliant network. Some amazing people, private bankers, investors, all sorts of really cool people who are very, very, very well versed and experts in this field.
And smart people as well,
people.
like intelligent people that know how to extract money from people, that know the talk and everything like this. So it's important, like I said, to have a team that's backing you. If you want to expand your business, it's worth spending the money in a team that will become your consultants, really.
Exactly.
And help you to get them to that next level, because you can't do it all on your own.
Exactly.
No man is an island.
Exactly. And our philosophy in SMIC is that you can accomplish anything in business, in personal life, in anything, with knowledge and connections. Like, knowledge is the most powerful thing, like knowing how to do something. Capital raising is a skill. It's a knowledge. You need to know how, and you need to know who. And so the SMIC, Square Mile Investment Club, or SMIC, is the place where you get the knowledge and also the connections, because in our network we have access to so many people who are looking for opportunities. They're looking for businesses. They're looking, and even not just businesses, people are looking for talent. Like, there's a lot of startup companies. You might have a skill. You might want to start your own company, but you might not have the resources. So why not join another startup and ask for equity in that business? So you actually become a company owner, and you actually get salary as well, and be part of a startup. So it's just, everyone has to kind of look at, how can I maximize what I have? How can I get what I want with what I have? And in business, that is a skill in itself, because you're always going to need money. You're always going to need to grow, and you're always going to need money to grow. So it's in everyone's best interest, every entrepreneur, to know exactly how to raise money and who to go to raise money for your business. Thank you for the loves. Hi, Melanie. Hi, everyone that's come on. So yeah, we just to reiterate, if you're just jumping on, my business partner Swala, we founded this year the Square Mile Investment Club, which is a investing network. We look at startups and medium-sized businesses and property businesses and infrastructure development in Africa, and those looking to fund these projects. We basically help you understand and navigate how to and who to go to. Hi, John. Nice to see you.
And my expertise is in more of the technology space. I'm a lawyer as well. So more recently, I was doing legal and compliance for new startups and technology, blockchain mainly companies, and ICOs and STOs, which I'm going to do a bit of a course on STOs and how to fractionalize your business and sell fractions of equity into it, so you'll have a lot of investors and able to liquidize your assets rather than going to a bank and getting a loan. But anyway,
so that's
enough.
She's blockchain.
I don't want to give away all my secrets.
I know, right? But just so you know, how me and Swala met actually was through blockchain. We were both advisors on the TITA project, which is a blockchain project in Africa. And Swala was one of the board advisors, along with myself and some other people. And so we met, and it's funny because we had this, we met last year, but only actually met this year. So we had, we met virtually. So we've been speaking on the phone. I was in Nigeria. We was doing business and doing, really cool stuff. And it was only when I got back to London where we actually met, and then we was just kind of brainstorming, because, the crypto market, as everybody knows, even though it's moving, it did take a bit of a downturn. And so all of us had to, who was in the space, we had to look at, okay, how can we maximize this situation. And the situation was that obviously we were brought together. We have a passion, and we still, one of our things that we focus on, guys, blockchain companies. So if you have a blockchain idea or business, or you're a blockchain developer and you're looking for funding, we are working with investors who are funding blockchain projects. But yeah, through serendipity and through things happening, we just decided, look, what do people need in this world? Money. And we know there's lots of people in this world with money, and people with money need places to put it. They do. Like, they need entrepreneurs just as much as you need investors, and we understand that, and a lot of people don't. Like, there are businesses that pay people just to look for opportunities in the market, to invest in. So the sooner you guys understand this, and this is for both people who, you might not have a business yourself, but maybe, just maybe, you want to get into capital raising. Like, you want to broker deals whereby you work with small businesses already, or you're interested in entrepreneurship, you're interested in becoming a consultant, you're interested in just learning how to raise capital. Our forum, our platform is designed just for people like you. So I am going to leave a link in the comments. If you want to join this Square Mile Investment Club as a member, you are more than welcome to. Hi, William. Nice to see you. Thanks for the love. You're more than welcome to join. We want to build a community, or we are building a community, and this community is going to support you on your journey from your initial idea to no money all the way to the end to having money in your
Well, hopefully you're not starting with no money.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, but we have got a Telegram group as well, which if many people are on Telegram, just search for Square Mile Investment Club, and it's on Telegram, and please join there, because we'll be uploading some content as well, and we'll be doing some webinars soon and everything. So yeah.
All right, guys, so thank you for joining us. Thank you everyone who stayed in, tuned in, and watched, and we will see you next time. Good night. God bless. Bye.